Hello everybody, hope all of you are well, and the thermodynamics part, that is the chemical thermodynamics, already started by Piasamis, and up to first law already discussed. Okay, I think she has shared the video in your school website, and today I will start from the thermochemical equation, that means thermochemistry part. Now, first we will discuss what are thermochemical equations. Chemical equations which includes the heat change taking place during a chemical reaction is called thermochemical equation. Generally, we know that two type of reaction is there. One is exothermic reaction where heat is produced, and another is endothermic reaction where heat is absorbed. Okay. In exothermic reaction, their delta RH is negative. For exothermic reaction, delta RH, that will be positive. Okay. And sorry, delta RH will be for exothermic it will be negative. And for endothermic reaction, delta RH will be positive. Okay. Actually, here heat is generating and here heat is absorbing, and here delta RH we are calculating the change of heat. Okay. While writing the thermochemical equations for a reaction, the physical state of the reactants and products must be mentioned. Okay. The physical state of a substance is indicated with the help of different types of designation. Suppose in case of S, that we are indicating that solid. When we are writing L, then it is liquid. When we are writing G, that is called gas. When we are writing AQ, that means aqueous. Okay. This is aqueous solution. Okay. So in this way we have to mention in the equation. It is essential to indicate the physical state of reactants and products because of delta H value depends upon the physical state. Okay, that is the enthalpy change. Okay, depends upon the physical state of the reactants and product. We can give you examples so that you can understand. Suppose hydrogen is combining with oxygen. So hydrogen is which state? Gaseous state. And it is reacting with oxygen, that is also in gaseous state, and by combination of hydrogen and oxygen you have to burn, then there will be formation of water. So here state may be liquid L. So in this case the delta RH, its value will be, it is exothermic in nature, and it will be minus 286 kilojoule per mole. Minus 286 kilojoule per mole. Okay. But if we change the state, here in place of L, if we write is vapor, that means gaseous state. Suppose we are writing H2G plus half O2G forming H2O gas or vapor. Okay. Then the delta RH value, okay, RH value will be changed. Okay, that will be not, in case of liquid it will be different value, in case of gas there will be different value. Here it will be around delta RH minus 242 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so in this way we can easily understand, okay, the chemical equation, thermochemical equation. When the coefficient in a chemical equation are multiplied, these are the coefficients. Okay, if we multiply or divide by a factor, then delta RH value must be multiplied or divided by the same factor. Okay, that means here if we multiply it by 2, okay, then also we have to multiply this value also 2. Okay, I can give you one example. Okay, then you can easily understand. Suppose in this case Here H2 gas plus O2 gas, half O2 gas forming water liquid. Here delta RH value is minus 286. Now if we multiply it by 2, if we multiply it by 2, then we will get twice H2 gas plus O2 gas forming twice H2 liquid. Then we have to multiply delta RH value also by 2. 2 into minus 286 kilojoule per mole. So if we multiply minus 572 kilojoule per mole. So this will be your answer, okay? And when a chemical equation is reversed, okay, then the sign of delta RH, this value, okay, remains, value is remain, magnitude is remain same, but the sign will be changed, okay. Suppose we can give you one example. Suppose sulfur dioxide gas is reacting with oxygen gas forming sulfur trioxide gas. So in this case, it is an exothermic reaction. A delta RH value will be around 97.9 minus kilojoule per mole. Okay. So this is an exothermic reaction. Now if we reverse it, okay, if we reverse the reaction, that means we are writing SO3 gas, SO2 gas plus half O2 gas, then the magnitude will be the same but sign will be changed. So it will be plus 97.9 kilojoule. That you have to keep in mind. So this one is the exothermic reaction, but this one is the endothermic, just reverse process endothermic reaction. So that an exothermic reaction will be an endothermic reaction in the backward direction. Hope you can understand. Next we will discuss the enthalpy of heat of reaction. The total amount of heat energy evolved or absorbed when the number of moles of reactants react completely to give products as given in the balanced chemical equation is known as heat of reaction. And the standard enthalpy of reaction is the enthalpy change for a reaction when the reactants, okay, are in the standard state. That means elements and compounds. It is generally represented by delta R H theta. This theta is indicating that standard state. Standard state, that means the temperature is 298 Kelvin. That is the standard state, and pressure is 1 bar. That you have to keep in mind. Next we will discuss the different types of enthalpy of heat of reactions. Different type of heat of reaction or enthalpy of reaction. Okay, different types of heat of reaction or enthalpy of reaction. The heat change taking place during chemical reaction can be expressed in different ways depending upon the nature of the reaction. First, we will discuss the standard enthalpies of formation. Standard enthalpies of formation. Enthalpy of formation is defined as the enthalpy change when 1 mole substance is formed from its element. Okay. Suppose if we think about that formation of water, twice H2 gas is reacting with oxygen gas forming twice H2O liquid. Okay. So here hydrogen is reacting with oxygen gas forming liquid. So here just now we have seen that delta H value is equal to minus 572 kilojoule per mole. Okay. Now here the definition is there that the enthalpy change when 1 mole substance is formed from its element. So here the amount of water liquid is forming 2 mole. So here the heat of formation of water, liquid, okay, that will be, we can write as delta FH is equal to minus 572 divided by 2, as here 2 mole is there, kilojoule per mole. So if we calculate, we will get 286 kilojoule per mole. Okay. So this is the heat of formation of water. Now standard enthalpy of formation is defined as the enthalpy change when 1 mole substance is formed from its element in their standard states. In their standard states means when the temperature is 298 Kelvin and pressure is that 1 bar. Okay. Now delta H theta of a reaction, how to calculate? This is the standard enthalpy of formation of all products minus standard enthalpy of formation of all reactant. So delta R H theta can be calculated at for a reaction is equal to the standard enthalpies of formation of all products, standard enthalpies of formation of all products minus the standard enthalpies of all reactants. Okay, standard enthalpies of formation of all reactants. Okay. Suppose if we think about that a reaction, that AA is reacting with BB forming CC plus DD. So in this case, how to calculate delta RH theta? That will be the summation of delta F H theta of products. Okay. Minus delta F H theta of reactants. Okay, hope you can understand. So here if we put this thing, then here we have to write that C, okay, delta F H theta C, okay, plus D delta F H theta D, capital D, minus, okay, you can give it third bracket, minus, that is the A delta F H theta of A plus B delta F H theta of B. So we will discuss numericals from this part also. So in this way, from the standard enthalpy of formation of product minus the standard enthalpy of formation of reactant, we can easily calculate the delta R H theta value. Next we will discuss the enthalpy of solution. Enthalpy of solution. Enthalpy of solution is defined as the enthalpy or heat change when 1 mole of a solid is dissolved in large excess of solvent, so that further dilution no heat change occurs. Suppose we can think about that one ammonium salt, NH4NO3. This one is solid and here we are adding water. Then we will get NH4NO3 aqueous, that ammonium nitrate aqueous. So in this case, the delta solution of H theta, that will be equal to 26 kilojoule per mole. Hope you can understand. Next we will discuss the integral heat of dilution. It is defined as the net change of enthalpy when a solution containing 1 mole solute at a known concentration C1 is diluted by adding more solvent to get a solution of another concentration, another known concentration. Okay. Next we will discuss the enthalpy of hydration. Enthalpy of hydration. Enthalpy of hydration is defined as the enthalpy change when 1 mole of an anhydrous or partially hydrated salt combines with water to form hydrated. We can think about the anhydrous copper sulfate, that is CuSO4 anhydrous solid. It will add, if we add 5 water, then it will form CuSO4.5H2 solid. Okay, this is hydrated copper sulfate. So here the enthalpy of hydration, that is the delta hydration H theta if we write, that will be around minus 78 kilojoule per mole. Okay. Next we will discuss the enthalpy of neutralization. Enthalpy of neutralization. It is defined as the enthalpy change when 1 gram equivalent of an acid is neutralized by a base, vice versa. Okay, in the dilute solution. Suppose if we take 1 equivalent of HCl aqueous and 1 equivalent of NaOH aqueous, then there will be formation of salt and water, that is NaCl and H2, and there will be formation of some heat, okay, the exothermic change. And here if we write the reaction, then you can easily understand. So we are telling about that HCl NaOH reaction. So HCl aqueous is reacting with NaOH aqueous, forming NaCl aqueous plus H2O. Okay. Now in this case H2 liquid. So in this case the neutralization, enthalpy of neutralization delta NH theta, its value is fixed. Okay, for strong acid and strong base, that will be minus 57.1 kilojoule per mole. Okay. But if we take different acid, suppose if we take nitric acid or sulfuric acid, okay, so nitric acid KOH also form that potassium nitrate and water, and here also the heat of neutralization value will be same. So if we change but one thing you have to understand, that acid should be strong and base should be strong. Okay, the neutralization reaction is the reaction between 1 mole H plus ion and 1 mole OH minus ion, and in aqueous solution to form 1 mole water. Hence heat of neutralization of any strong acid and strong base is always same. But heat of neutralization of ammonium hydroxide, that is a weak base, and HCl is a strong acid, it will be minus 51.5 kilojoule. So I am telling about NH4Cl, NH4OH, ammonium hydroxide and HCl neutralization. So in this case the delta N H theta value will be somewhat less, that will be around minus 51.5 kilojoule per mole. Now why this is less? This is because the 57.1 minus 51.5, that is around 5.6 kilojoule heat is consumed in dissociating the weak base ammonium hydroxide. The ammonium hydroxide weak base and it will not fully dissociated. Okay, it will be partially dissociated. So to dissociate, the amount of energy required, that will be around to around 5 kilojoule per mole. The heat of neutralization of acetic acid and ammonium hydroxide is 49.6 kilojoule, because 7.5 kilojoule energy is used dissociating the weak acid, that is the acetic acid, and weak base ammonium hydroxide. Next we will discuss the enthalpy of combustion. Enthalpy of combustion, it is defined as the enthalpy change when 1 mole of substance undergoes complete combustion. Suppose we can think about the burning of carbon. Carbon solid is reacting oxygen gas, and there will be formation of carbon dioxide gas. All of you know that there will be formation of heat. So delta CH, that is the enthalpy of combustion, its value will be around minus 393.5 kilojoule. Okay, 0.5 kilojoule per mole. Okay. Now standard enthalpy of combustion is defined as the enthalpy change per mole of the substance, all the reactants and products being in their standard state at the specified temperature. Since combustion is always accompanied by evolution of heat and the enthalpy of combustion is always negative. Okay. So one thing you have to understand, that calorific value here, or calorific value of food or fuels. The amount of heat energy released when a fuel or food is burnt is known as fuel value or calorific value. It is defined as the amount of heat energy released by complete combustion of 1 gram of the fuel. Suppose we can think about egg. And if we burn 1 gram egg, the amount of energy will be produced 7.3 kilojoule per gram. Okay, and we know that the calorific value of butter is very high, and butter will be 30.4 kilojoule per gram. In case of ghee, it will be 37.6 kilojoule per mole. Okay, but if we think about the fuel like our LPG gas containing butane, that will be around 55 kilojoule per gram. Okay, but in case of hydrogen, it is the highest, that is 150 kilojoule per gram. So among the fuels, hydrogen has the highest calorific value. Okay, that is if you burn 1 mole hydrogen gas, you will get huge amount of heat. Okay, so in this way we have discussed today's part, and next day we will discuss different types of transition enthalpies. Okay, so today up to this, thank you.